For years, we have thought about the routines, exercises, practices that defines our expression in the Christian faith. We have given an elaborate discourse about the import of fasting and how it helps the soul to align with the prophetic signals of God. We have talked about the transformative capacities of the word and how it helps man to live up to the references of God. We have looked upon corridors of meditation and how much man can evolve the more he stays and fellowship with the things God has declared. We have taken time and time again to talk about what we can do with prayer. And so many of these activities continue to be an emphasis. But I realized recently that Satan is not affected by our exercises as long as it has been reduced into religious practices. If you remove God from anything you are doing, it is no longer effective in the eye of spirits. Prayer can be done outside God. Fasting can be done outside God. The study of the word can be done outside God. And if it's done outside God, it is no longer a threat to Satan. So he can make you study as long as you are studying because of Rhema. You are looking for something to tell other people. That thing you are looking for cannot initiate transformation in your life because it is going straight to your head because you only want to say it out to other men. It is not a seed that will develop into life on your inside. Because the devil knows that this is the route you are following, he will not attack your study life. You can continue studying. But after a lot of years, you will realize you have preached many things, but your life is not a reflection of any. You will see that you have talked about fasting, but there is no token of the dividends of fasting in your life. You will see that you are a mighty man in the conversation of prayer, but your life does not capture any reality to show that you have journeyed that path. If you have anything to look upon with fear this night, it is this very foolish way of living where you continue to do things the same way and you think that by tomorrow something will change. I need somebody tonight to take a break. Match the brakes quickly. If I continue going the way I'm going like this, am I sure that in the next 10 years there is anything remarkable about my walk with God? When the devil continues to puncture your spiritual life up and down, you know. Tonight I need somebody to be genuinely yearning for God. And this is what we are looking for. The first thing God does for us on a mountain like this is to restore hunger. Many people's spiritual appetite is down. Hi. When was the last time, because of prayer, you could not sleep? When was the last time you have not evangelized and you are feeling guilty? I need to show you how much of spiritual hunger we have lost. And this is part of the sign that an ailment has attacked us. That we are not well. We are not well. Our appetite for spiritual things is on an all-time low. Please, I need somebody to pray a prayer solemnly from the heart. Baptize me with fresh hunger, fresh yearning, fresh appetite for you. Yearning for you and you alone. May you be my reward. Not cars, not houses, not husbands, not wife, not children, not properties. You be my inheritance. Put a yearning for your presence upon my soul. A yearning for your presence. Are you crying to God where you are? Jesus, 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 Jesus. Listen. This is the real purpose for church. Yes. Declarations for your prosperity can be made. Prophetic utterances can be made to bring you into new seasons of rest. As good as these things may be, they are not the real essence for church. The reason for our convergence is to generate a superior consciousness of the divine. That's why we came. It's so that when you enter into the company of God's people and you are living, the consciousness for the things of this world and the worldliness that becomes the nature that attaches to your soul is weakened when we enter this place. So that as you live here, you become more conscious of the divine. If this has not happened and you left the presence of God, I don't care what else you received, you have really missed. What do you think you have? What do you think you can carry out of this life? You think you have anything? Your car is not your own. The Lord taught me something quite profound recently. Even the house you claim you bought and you built is not your own. You only have access. You cannot take it out of. It belongs to this world and it will pass away with this world. When you are living this world, you will leave it all behind as a proof that it was never your own. You got it inside here and you will leave it inside here. The moment you draw your last breath, anything that cannot follow you into eternity is not yours. Although you gave your whole life to get it, it was never yours. How many beds can you sleep on in the night? Look at the small space that you are on. That's the only place you can sleep on per time. How many cars can you drive? The lost can, you see, it's alarming. It's alarming how men continue from Monday to Saturday is a frantic pursuit for material gain. Then on Sunday, when spiritual consciousness should be the labor of every priest, it is still about the mundane. Receive, I prophesy. So what are we serving? What is our God? The totality of a man's meditation is about accruing, about getting. And everything he lived for was never his own. It was not your own. What I'm sharing with you now, many people realized it at that last moment when they were about to transit from this world into the other. That was when it flashed by their eye that this is what I really had. Many of them are bankrupt. Maybe you understand what Jesus meant when he says, lay up for yourself treasure. You cannot lay anything here. Everything here will perish with the perishing world. People who never knew you. Look at the house you are living in now. Somebody else was living on that land before you now bought it and built your own house. Somebody was living on that property before you moved in. Where are all the old people who once lived there? Now that it is in your hand, you say you are the landlord. That's how one day a stranger too will buy it. And he will think that he is the best thing that has happened to that space. Meanwhile, it's an old house with different occupants. Different. What you really had are things that can follow you into eternity. And these are the things you never gave attention to. See, the devil's biggest trick in this generation, I'll show you from the scripture I'm about to read, is called the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches. These two things. This is what preoccupies the mind of the average man. Why are young people down with high blood pressure? It's this same thing I'm telling you. Why are people cutting corners, breaking laws? The cares of life and the deceitfulness of riches. I would waste upon your altar. I would waste follow.